Hello, everybody. It's time for, I believe, our first match of our quarterfinals due to a couple of last-minute FFs. Just two FFs happening in the loser bracket and the winners bracket. But now we got our first match that's being streamed and being played. It is going to be versus both Canadian players, PikaPwn and Zylice. Two really established and accomplished players in the North America scene and in Canada as a whole. But it's rare to see that we have both of the countries going against each other, or players from both players from the same country. Excuse me. And we can see on opt out to see some bans like tapping. Going to be banned out from Nomad 2. Mostly going to be that flow map from Zylice. And a Hard Rock 3 ban off of PikaPwn. A little bit of all-team map that Nanahoshi map has. But these players both accomplished in every single aspect they are. Really similar picks, I'd say. And similar skill sets. So you're going to see a lot of really close matchups, I believe, in this map. Both of them maybe are a little bit different in terms of low AR picks. Maybe Zylice just has a little bit of an upper hand. You know, it's kind of like gimmicky low AR 8s or AR 7 kind of maps, like the Shotgun Symphony that we have in Nomad 7, or excuse me, Nomad 6. I believe that Hidden will be really similar between both of these players. Great Hidden player that PikaPwn was able to put up some great scores in some of these World Cup class matches, especially in Resurrection Cup, going all the way to semifinals, top 8, and his team Waddle D. Both of these teams were against each other. Excuse me, both of these players were against each other in the different teams in the semifinals losers bracket. So this is basically just another iteration of what's to come. Except just on a field where you are on yourself, by yourself, depending on yourself. Only a first miss by PikaPwn. It is going to be this little bit slider techie map for the beginning of this section. A little bit of tech map coming in for this map. Lots of flow in the second half. And the second third, to be precise, has this little bit more of tapping mechanics into this. Tapping mechanics map. These techie mech picks really good for Zylice, as he's already showing well accuracy in his side. He's going to find the first drop. Really getting that no lock, dropping himself down to 93% accuracy. 94% accuracy is the highest in the lobby right now for PikaPwn. But right now it is neck and neck with a little bit of more combo on the side of Pika. And here we go into the more tech mech part. Lots of slidered bursts, lots of different kind of variables in this map. No players giving up, but Pika, with a little bit of ending combo that he's able to have here, is continuing to shred on this ending. These slider bursts are so hard, but that's the break for Pika. Zylice has the combo, but is there enough map? It is going down by quite a bit. Exponentially, this combo goes up, but the more combo drops, the more act drops that Pika gets, the more closer it gets. Last jump section, last couple of circles, 28k in the lead, but is slowly down. Zylice misses at the very end, and Pika grabs that by the skin of his teeth as Zylice almost gets the comeback there.
Yeah, Zylice would have needed to hold on in the end there for it to go back over. It was just that last miss, 40k in the end, and it's going to be, I believe, that's the first point of the match going over to PikaPwn.
Just going to introduce us once again. My name is XCXD, and I'm joined by Juno, your casters for today's quarterfinals losers bracket match. And it's going to be a match between both Canadians. I mean, Juno, you know a lot about both these players. These players have really accomplished accolades, badges, tournament wins, and especially some Osu impacting the world. And what do you think about this match right now?
Definitely two former OWC players. Zylice definitely the more established OWC players, as we're going right into our next map. I believe this is Nomad 1 now. But yeah, been two very established mappers. May I just ask, was that, I believe that would have been Zylice's first pick on the Hard Rock 3, am I correct?
I believe that was. Maybe I have to go check through the sheet again.
Because Nomad 1 seems like a very PikaPwn pick. And it shows very early on as PikaPwn still holding on to an SS through the intro. Zylice just finding an early break, but is going to be recovering with good accuracy nonetheless.
Yeah, it's gonna be the pick for Zylice that on that Hard Rock 1 that PikaPwn just won. So PikaPwn going straight into this Nomad 1. You've seen a couple of FCs from this man, especially in that round of 16. Getting an FC on Nomad 1 against Pez, but unfortunately not able to capitalize on some of the map picks that were chosen. Does fall off on precision, does fall off a little bit on low AR sometimes, but in these aim picks, PikaPwn is just absolutely crazy on consistency. His focus is absolutely sheer dedication to able to get these SSs, and actually insane accuracy from both of these players, but the accuracy just leads on PikaPwn just by a little bit. It doesn't look like a lot. It looks like a lot by 17k, but as the map goes on, accuracy might be the only thing that's keeping both of these players separated, due to both of them holding a near FC with Zylice and an FC on PikaPwn.
Yeah, and we do finally see an 100 come out of PikaPwn, but both players hitting through this first Ki section. It's going to be still this early lead, or already a third of the way through the map now. PikaPwn still holding on. It's been so consistent over the past, I would argue, almost over the past decade. While the skill in general has increased over time, just in the player base, PikaPwn has always been so consistent on these maps, and not surprised to see him go for this on his first pick and putting up a solid performance so far. Zylice, though, has always been, whether it's as a fill player or as a core player, has always been in on Nomad 1's in the past, but both players missing on the same circle right at the halfway point of the map. And it's going to be a complete reset, which actually favors PikaPwn because PikaPwn already has a score advantage, so this is going to stall out completely right around that 32k mark.
And there's nothing else to say about this map, just consistency, just jumps, just a little bit of streams there and here. And both of these players absolutely immaculate. Only the one miss is just the only blunder for both of these players. But PikaPwn is going to find the most important break in the map right here. There was a pretty big break from Zylice in the beginning of the map, but now that is from the past, and this is the most important miss that is happening. This is going to be really, really important for Zylice to hold this combo. This is a little bit more difficult section, and as Nomad 1s go, the Ki's become a lot more dense. The Ki's become a lot more stretched out in flames of jumps, and both of these players hitting it wonderfully, but Zylice, the opportunity was there, but couldn't capitalize on that combo advantage. It is going to be another miss, and another opportunity closed on him. PikaPwn, it's just him with the higher combo, higher accuracy, and a higher score overall with 23k in the lead as he's shredding Nomad 1 apart.
What an absolute performance from both these players here as we get into the final set of jumps. Zylice with another break. That is only going to solidify this victory for PikaPwn coming into the end of the map. Going to be sitting around that 520k. Most likely going to end up at around 550, 560k potential score in this final flurry of jumps here. The spacing is so far apart, but PikaPwn hitting it with absolute precision. Final section here, and it will not phase PikaPwn. Actually going to be going up to almost around 590, almost 600k for PikaPwn. Going to be hitting right back, consolidating that breakpoint. 1-100, 2 misses on the side of PikaPwn. Unfortunately, Zylice, a great score, just found a couple of unfortunate picks hit into the end of the map, and it's going to go right to no mod 3 for Zylice here.
And that's an instant pick into no mod 3. Consolidating on that point, you're feeling real good. You have the advantage over Zylice, who is just an incredibly consistent player, which is great to have. You have a little bit more leeway in this map.
We've seen quite long maps so far in this match. That Hard Rock 1 maybe being a little bit more on the short side, but that no mod 1 being 4.5 minutes. We're going to a 3.5 minute no mod 3. And it's just gonna be unrelenting with a lot of these snap aim geometric patterns, and this definitely a skill set that that PikaPwn's not as well known at. Could definitely play it, but this has been a skill set that Zylice has been solidified in for the past couple years, especially.
Could be no mod 3. Very ulti map, very snappy map, very modern style. And most of our no mod 3 is happening in our 2025, the big 25 here. You're seeing mainly the snap and then transitioning the flow on those kind of maps, which is basically what we're seeing in here, but a lot more emphasis on the snap aim. Accuracy is really just basically the same. Zylice still holding the SS. Not gonna really matter. There has been a lot of breaks, a lot of pretty huge breaks during this match. I mean, you're definitely gonna see them in this no mod 3, possibly. This map really has nothing happening in the verses. I mean, you can see it right now, nothing in the verses. But as we kick up into the Ki, a lot more snap, a lot more ranged of sliders. Zylice finding the first break is gonna drop the SS at 150 as well. So accuracy lead does transfer over to PikaPwn, but it is going to be the lead for him as well, as this is continuing to be an unfortunate pick for Zylice.
Yeah, not looking good on the second pick so far. Just the one break though, so definitely can see some comeback potential if PikaPwn were to find the break. Long nap, 3.5 minutes, but during these verse sections, you just don't see the same amount of combo density and difficulty. So it's essentially just this free section for PikaPwn to build up that combo lead and to bring the score even further in their favor, as well as look at that accuracy. It's getting through that first Ki section as we get into the second now, halfway through the map right now, about a minute 45 in, and it's going to be PikaPwn still the one to hold on. Zylice recovering quite well with little accuracy drops. Does find 100 there, but it will not matter as the combo stays intact. It's still this 120 built up now for PikaPwn has been unshakable in this match so far, Ixia.
But that's going to be the break right as you say. And that's an opportunity for Zylice to take over. This is 135k you need to come over, plus a little bit of score that PikaPwn is going to gain from recovery combo. It is going to be about 170k score you need to gain to be able to take over this lead if PikaPwn doesn't find any breaks. But that needs to be the ideal situation for Zylice. You need more breaks from PikaPwn to make this a little bit closer. But now this combo is the ability to absolutely ripple into a huge score. And that lead, 130k, and now is 85k, and the comeback is in. Zylice, still a couple of more snaps. One of the more harder section of this map because of how more spaced the jumps are, and it's still continuing this dread. One more polygonal pattern, and that's going to be a little bit more freer in this last burst coming up. And it's going to be the miss into that last polygonal pattern, the triangular pattern. It's going to take his combo away, and PikaPwn, the skin of his teeth again, survives another comeback combo. We talked about it once again. This guy is so strong at just capitalizing. But Zylice needs to find more good combo comebacks. And with that, PikaPwn up 3-0. Another breakpoint cemented into his board. And that's great for him.
Yeah, it might have shaken on around that 2/3 of the way mark through the map, but gets into the ending with no problem. Is going to be finding the break point once again. 3-0 so quickly into this match. We're only 15 minutes into this match. It's already up 3-0 for PikaPwn, just taking it by the horns, and we're going straight into hidden one. We are going to be going into the Hyori Shoots a Strange Bird. It's the Japanese title, but that's the English title is Hyori Shoots a Strange Bird. This is a camo map. Lots of focus on these 214 bursts and awkward aim as well. At a decently high BPM for this stage, quarterfinals, but 214 BPM here.
A little bit more mechanically heavy this map is. You're looking at this more on both PikaPwn's side, really good at these mechanics, consistency picks. It doesn't mean that Zylice isn't really good at these. One of the best mechanics players, one of the best speed players and consistency players as well, and known for his absolute dominance on the hidden mon as well. Low AR, hidden tech, as well as consistency as well. Don't count him out on this map. You can already see how mechanically heavier this map is going to pull out your mechanics. The speed, the 214 BPM, excuse me, on this 3-minute and 10-second map is going to be really important for the accuracies and the combos to be held. It's 98.50 AC for both players apiece. Basically the same AC code. And right now, nobody has a clear advantage. Only a 300 score lead for PikaPwn, but that's only about 30 seconds of the map.
Yeah, this is once again over 3 minutes long, so definitely lots of combo. It's gonna come down to, I feel like, a lot of these bigger sliders, bigger kick sliders, as you see Zylice with a slider break about a quarter of the way through the map. It is PikaPwn to find an early score advantage here, looking very comfortable. This is essentially PikaPwn's bread and butter, hidden aim around this 200 to 220 BPM mark, and looking as comfortable as ever. Drops a few 100, so does give the accuracy lead over to Zylice if PikaPwn were to find a break, but is holding on to the combo expertly here, almost getting to this halfway point with the FC still intact.
Yeah, both players doing really good work, just being able to keep their accuracies up, but the combos are where it's at. I mean, PikaPwn, lower AC by 0.3. The combo is there to help you, though. It is going to be a combo game after all at the end of the day on the game OS. But in this tournament, we've seen so many high AC plays, so many high AC mapping as well. But this is just PikaPwn at his best on these hidden consistency maps. You need to find a break if you're a PikaPwn for Zylice to be able to settle himself into a comeback again. And will it be the same thing that we've seen on that Nomad 1, on the same thing that we've seen on that Hard Rock 1? Will it happen again on this hidden one? But PikaPwn just not letting up. 1/3 left to go. Still gonna reach 4-digit combo for PikaPwn, and just a little bit more burst. It's basically the same thing happening over and over again, but we've been here before. The break from PikaPwn and Zylice with a comeback combo. But is it time to capitalize on this combo? Will the breaks happen again for Zylice? Is PikaPwn giving him more free breathing room? But it's Zylice dropping once again on another comeback combo. So unfortunate breaks for Zylice, as PikaPwn just happens to have a higher combo coming in to that singular break that he just had.
Another break from PikaPwn. I don't think there's enough time or enough of a combo advantage here for Zylice to bring anything back. It is coming over very slightly at the end, but it's still sitting around that 80k mark. There's just no combo density left, and PikaPwn looking to be going up 4-0 in this match here, and it's going to be another one of these close victories where we've seen PikaPwn build an early combo lead, and then Zylice finds a break about 1/3 of the way through the map, and then PikaPwn breaks about 2/3 of the way through the map, and then Zylice just unfortunately just drops it going into the ending of the map and is not able to find a pick here. We're going into a second round of bans, the delayed bans in this tournament here as we go into PikaPwn's second set of bans. Just looking at the bans here, we have a Nomad 2 ban from Zylice. Not surprised by that considering PikaPwn's skill set. The Hard Rock 3 ban from PikaPwn, that is not surprising whatsoever. Going off of what we've seen, yeah, it's going to be PikaPwn going into a DT ban. More of the gimmick style of DT ban. Zylice having banned out that Nomad 2 and have mostly actually been losing on mechanics. I wouldn't be surprised to see maybe even it's gonna be a hidden 2 ban. So that also surprises me because Zylice, I would argue, is just as good, if not better, at hidden reading than PikaPwn. Maybe just not feeling it on the map, but it's going to be Zylice's pick next. He's going to be going for Nomad 4. We're going to be going to some lower BPM tech here.
This guy spilled rice all over his keyboard. This is unfortunate. Bro, somebody get Rob a towel. The Sabrina map got banned, guys. Is it over? Is it over, chat? Number 4. One of the shorter maps in the pool, 2 minutes and 19 seconds. Really high SR, considering that a 7.09 tech map is in the pool. And we are sitting about on an average of 7.68 star rating for our Nomad 1s and below for the average star rating of this pool. And this Nomad 4 really is that tech. It really is that thing you will see. You're gonna see so many flow streams, or so many flow tech streams, so many slider tech. Really gonna empathize on the slider points in this map. Really combo breakable. If you do not know how this map goes, then you're not gonna do really good on this map. But especially on both of these players, I expect them to at least study this map at least once or twice. Excuse me, but. Zylice on a really back foot start right here, losing 4 points already, not winning a single one of your 2 picks. But this is the point where you could possibly get yourself into the momentum of winning this match. PikaPwn has been on absolute tear against Zylice, but will Nomad 4 be a momentum shift, and will it be a momentum starter for Zylice?
I've been saying a few times here that there are some skill sets in this map pool that traditionally Zylice would be quite favored in, mostly that Nomad 3 that we saw earlier. Of course, that was won by a very slight margin, but now going to this Nomad 4 into this cut section, it's Zylice the one finding a slider break in the really quick slider section.
Bancho.
Never mind. Bancho loves slider breaking for us and then throwing their combo right back on the screen. So it is still a little bit of an early advantage for Zylice just based on the accuracy. No slow slider breaks on the hard slider, and everybody gets through that first section. The first half of the map done here.
And now into more snappiness, more of the snappy, really slider reading heavy map, and PikaPwn's firing the first break. It's the turn. We've seen the map's been Zylice missing first, but now it is going to be PikaPwn missing, and this map is actually not letting up at all. These triple sliders snappy bursts are absolutely insane, and PikaPwn just keeps breaking on them. Zylice finally finds the drop, but with no combo inside, just a little bit on PikaPwn's side. I think it's best to say this is Zylice's map as he finally gets himself into the board and gets the momentum he needs to be able to make this comeback.
Zylice in on the skills, one of the skill sets that I would definitely expect Zylice to do quite well on in this matchup here, and that is shown is able to hold through the majority of the difficult section in the map, which is honestly what you need to hit in a map like this. You see another break coming out of PikaPwn at the end of the map. It's not going to matter as Zylice holding on to this 370. It's going to end up being a 390 combo into the end. 600k. That's one of the highest scores we've seen in this match so far. That 600k going on the way of Zylice. 4-1 now.
On a
Gonna have
normal
to
4
see
like
it.
that's crazy.
Yeah, that's absolutely wild. We're gonna need to see a few more breakpoints coming at Zylice for him to bring this back, but definitely stops PikaPwn's momentum in his tracks. PikaPwn was looking to just keep going on, go on to that match point, but it's now Zylice into the match now. Is going to be looking for another win here with PikaPwn's next pick. Wouldn't be surprised to see PikaPwn go for another more just closer to generic mechanics map. More on the lower BPM. Looks like it's going to be Hard Rock 2. So going into a Netto CS 6.5 map, this has a lot of symmetry aim and a lot of geometric aim. Netto definitely going towards more of that older style of mapping when it comes to B-class heroes here.
I'm a little scared about this pick. I mean, you've been winning on more of the more generic maps, more simple maps, the ones that don't require a lot of knowledge of the map or a lot of practice. So going into this Hard Rock 2, yes, it's just symmetric. Yes, it's just geometrical, but this map is just precision. This is one of PikaPwn's weaker skill sets. In Pez's match against him, he unfortunately drops a couple of misses, just really bad shit misses on the precision. And so seeing this pick come out from PikaPwn is really surprising. I expect Zylice to be a little confused as well, seeing this pick come out from PikaPwn. But he did say he was out of picks. And I think this map is just really consistent throughout the 3 minutes or 31 seconds. The 216 BPM, a little bit higher than we've seen in the Hard Rock 2s lately. But it's just going to be that geometrical, symmetrical, and a lot of polygonal patterns sometimes on the Kirby mix type map.
Yeah, also relatively high BPM, although I feel like the higher BPM actually does matter a little bit more when it comes to precision than it would on, say, a Nomad 1 or a Hidden 1, just because, or even a Hard Rock 1 in some cases, just because you have to be that much more precise with faster movements. So definitely can be seeing something come into play here. Early act drop from PikaPwn, but it's not going to be that much. We are still very early in the map. This map 3.5 minutes long, and we are just going to be getting into the first Ki here. No breaks thus far here.
And the consistency is just helping Zylice a lot more on the accuracy. Both players just absolutely crazy on the accuracy. You see it on the Nomad 1, you see it on the Hidden 1. Accuracy has been absolutely crazy, but that's going to be the FC drop for Zylice. Advantage towards PikaPwn as he's continuing to go through this, and you've seen that this guy's weaker skill set is precision, but doesn't mean he's going to be out of it, and that's more breaks from Zylice. Unfortunately, going to miss on that triple burst that is needed to be learned a little bit spaced off of his part. There's a lot more snappiness in this part, a lot more triangle and diamond kind of mapping in this map, or this section, I say. And Zylice just under combo, under act by 1% a whole, as PikaPwn just still has the FC.
Yeah, and I feel like this does make sense just because, like, oftentimes in the CS 6.5 slot, you'll see maybe some more techie patterns, some more. We're actually going to be seeing a break from PikaPwn, but it is traded out by Zylice just slightly earlier. But this is more just flat out raw in, which is one of PikaPwn's like greatest skill sets, is just flat out raw in. Yes, it's more precise at the CS 6.5, but he's already at 500k, two-thirds of the way through the map, looking poised to go up to match point here against Zylice.
It could be comebackable. Oh, never mind. That's the break. Okay. Goodbye, Zylice. That's the one miss that we were talking about. One more miss from Big Z, and that's gone. Well, PikaPwn, this is a map that I thought was going to be a little bit more favored in Zylice's part, but fortunately, some not being able to capitalize on some of these bursts or some of these really consistent parts on Zylice's part is just unfortunately going to find a lot more breaks than PikaPwn. And Right now, there is combo on the side of Zylice, but not enough map, not enough combo density. PikaPwn, 99% accuracy, a wonderful 600k to be about score. There is another break for him, but not enough map from Zylice. And that break definitely solidifies it.
Gosh.
And the accuracy drop. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it does find a little bit of an accuracy drop, 50s and 100s all on that last stream there. But going up on match point now is PikaPwn over Zylice. I gotta think that considering the point that Zylice did win in this match, I believe our next pick is going to be that hidden 3, which is just a very difficult tech map. A lot of focus on the flow aim on this map, and that is exactly what we're going to see out of Zylice, going straight for that hidden 3.
And this hidden 3 pick, yeah, you win that normal 4 really easily. This hidden 3 pick is not a surprise. It's another one of those tech maps. 0 PP and Osu. You're going to see a lot more slider tech in this map than you saw in that normal 4. The normal 4 had a lot more snappy, triple burst, slider kind of burst. This one map is just regular tech, I'd say, on the hidden. Just going to see a lot of sliders, a lot of tech sliders in this map.
Yeah, tech sliders, there is a little bit of a flow aim aspect to this, but mostly focusing on the slider aim. As well, this map has 2 halves to it. Both of these are just extremely difficult and extremely unrelenting. You have a little bit of a reprieve in the middle of the map, but this map just keeps going difficulty-wise. There are no breaks except for the little one in the middle of the map. But while the map goes, it just goes 110% the entire time. Here we get into hidden 3. We're expecting this to be a strong pick for Zylice here, although I would not discount PikaPwn too early on this map. Another long map being over 4 minutes. Definitely lots of time for these players to build up combo and lose combo.
Both of these players avoiding the DT2 and DT1. Not a lot surprise there, considering both of these players are really great on speed. But now into the hidden 3, really important map to be withstanding for Zylice. Tournament lives on the line. You're back against the wall. And on this hidden 3, both players great at hidden, but are you good at the hidden tech? It is going to be coming up right now. The flow hit, and now into the tech. It's going to be a lot of sliders, a lot of slider flow as well, but it is going to be those kind of maps that is just going to be that really techy map. Both players going to trade breaks. A little delayed from Zylice gives a little bit of edge for this type of map, but it's not letting up from both of these players.
Early breaks on the map. You see a lot of these big sliders into some more flow aim now. I would suspect PikaPwn more comfortable on these flowier sections. Almost comes off of them. Does finally find a slider break with a couple of 50s as well. Dropping a lot of accuracy there. Pushing this score lead back over to Zylice, who is absolutely tearing up some of these slider stream patterns here. Getting about 500 combo now as we get closer and closer to that halfway mark of the map. There's another break from PikaPwn, and Zylice just keeps holding on. Is he able to hold on into the middle? Break is going to be holding on to a 71,000 point lead. That's a demonic score lead, and is going to be keep going. It's going to keep going into Zylice's favor as we get out of this break, and if Zylice is able to keep holding on to some combo here.
Saw this picture a lot, saw this situation a lot, but except it is going to be Zylice with the holding combo instead of himself breaking a little bit early. A lot of free combo in this section. Still need to aim the slider points and aim the slider as well. Still a lot of combo shit missable at disposable. But it is going to be Zylice with free combo, free score to be obtained in that break. But now right back into gear. This map is a lot more difficult in the back half of this map. And PikaPwn finding another break before this huge key eye section. And Zylice, the tech monster of this match, is absolutely going crazy. Nomad 4 was a huge win, but now hidden 3, Zylice going crazy on this hidden 3 with a 97.50% accuracy. And about to reach 4-digit combo, and he does. Still a lot more flow to be had to cut streams. Wow. And he's just absolutely showing the world why he is one of the GOATs of hidden. Zylice, no other man could do tech like this. Absolute immaculate tech precision on this display right here. And it's going to be the win for Zylice, but if you look at the path ahead, on the path to semis, to be able to grab yourself into the semis losers bracket spot, you need to win 3 maps in a row. 2 of them on PikaPwn's picks, and as well as Zylice's own pick. He's still going. What is this score? This is actually crazy.
I honestly think, actually, I think this is a Filipino genes map. Like, finally finds a break coming into the end of the map, but this is such a dominant. This is by far, like, almost double the largest score margin that we've seen in favor of either player this match. That is over 400k in favor of Zylice, as we are going PikaPwn insta-picks Nomad 6, and we're going to be seeing Shotgun Symphony Plus in this match here.
Map a banger. Map's amazing. Longest map in the pool, 5 minutes, tiebreaker kind of length. It's almost as long as the tiebreaker, or actually it is longer than the tiebreaker in length, but not in drain time. There is a huge pause in the middle of this map, so there is a reason why this is some 4 minutes 13 seconds of drain time. But 5 minutes on this map, you're gonna be here for a little while, and if combo were to build up really early for both of these players, and considering how long this map is on a kind of long map, it's gonna look really close. Maybe 20k score difference from both of these players doesn't look like a lot, but in a map length like this, it's gonna look like a lot. Just gonna be the consistency, low AR, a lot of overlapping sliders, a lot of overlapping notes. The circle size of 7 makes this a lot more precision and a catering to the AR8 as well as the ODA, which is note lock territory if you were to miss a string of jumps.
Yeah, this, I would call this map, you need so much patience on this map. Along with the precision, there's just so many of these awkward overlaps when it comes to triples and quints that can really catch you out, especially with the accuracy. Also on the combo as well. Very comfortable BPM for a map like this. 181 BPM. I do fear for PikaPwn on this map, as Zylice definitely been a expert. Has been an expert AR8 player over the years, mostly with the hidden, but we will see both of these players on the Nomad right now. But PikaPwn definitely also a excellent reading player in their own rights when it comes to these types of maps. And here we go, 5 minutes of Shotgun Symphony, CS7, AR6, early break coming out of PikaPwn. Lots of combo to go in this map.
Let's see if the precision aim control can take over Zylice here. I mean, PikaPwn's pick, you got a lot of overlapping bursts, as I said, a lot of overlapping sliders, but they aren't really overlapping to where you're unable to read on them. And PikaPwn, the pick being him, is already kind of backfiring. I mean, a lot of breaks in the beginning of this map. Doesn't mean it's over, but 5 minutes in length. And with a combo like this on Zylice, it already looks like a long time to go for PikaPwn. You need more combo. You need more breaks from Zylice to be exact, and it's going to be granted to you. So Zylice did have a little bit of an early lead in this early section of the map, but 15k in the lead is quite a lot, considering not a lot of huge combo spikes in this map. It's just very consistent throughout.
It's going to be so much combo to build up in this map. It is going to be coming over back to the side of PikaPwn here with the accuracy and the the accuracy and the combo advantage. Now we see another slider break out of Zylice. Some of these long sliders with the slider ticks do actually have the potential to miss on these slider ticks, and that's going to be huge. Now it's actually, we see a break coming out of PikaPwn again on one of these sliders, missing the head of that slider, I think, as it's going to now be a combo advantage for Zylice coming out of that slower section. More breaks coming out of PikaPwn is traded by Zylice, and oh, this is really looking rough for Zylice, dropping all the way down to 92.5, finding a whole bunch of misses before this break.
28k in the lead. You're such in a good spot if you're a PikaPwn. Not a lot of combo on the board right now. Not even both of these combos leading up to 200 accumulated for both of these players. But now we're on the halfway point of this map, and it's basically slowed down from here on out. Still a lot of shit misses to go around if you're not really locked in. And just the spinners that are catching people off guard. It does move some cursors off your positions, but it isn't going to be affecting any of these players. And just with a slight combo lead that PikaPwn has, it is slowly growing in the lead for him. Loads of breaks in this middle section. It is so much, but Zylice needs a miracle, needs a really, really random break from PikaPwn if he were to win this. It's Nomad 6 just staring down the barrel of a gun. Zylice just needs one break, and it could possibly be the situation that gets him into the lead.
Yeah, sitting on a knife's edge right now, still in favor of PikaPwn. It's actually starting to come back a little bit, just with Zylice's accuracy improving slightly. It's just still sitting around that 37k. Oh, PikaPwn finds a break. That's going to be huge. He's going to see that. And Zylice knows what needs to be done now. He needs to hold through this last quarter of the map to bring it over, and then some into more of these triples.
This is one of the more difficult parts of the map, and he's going to find more breaks. There's going to be more note locks. The opportunity was there. You've seen that story so many times during this match. So many opportunities for Zylice to capitalize, but drops them so early, so soon. And the hardest kind of part of the map, the little bit of aim control section, does take away some combo. Did he just DC?
I'm not quite sure. Let me go try and find the MP link just to see what we have happening here.
Oh, he's gone.
Still says that it's in progress, but it looks like it is going to be a DC from Zylice. And as Zylice was already
the stream died.
Oh no. Oh, he's back!
Wait, he's back. Wait, he just disconnected for like 2 seconds.
Sometimes when the internet disconnects, but you still keep playing and then it comes back, it can reconnect you to the match. And we are going to be seeing that as we are going to allow for Zylice
Everybody break.
Still a decent amount of density here for Zylice here. We are actually going to have to watch the last portion of this map played out by Zylice. Surely there's not enough. Let me just check the MP link. It is going to be PikaPwn taking it by about 30,000 points in the end. 331k to just under 300k. And that is going to be PikaPwn taking this quarterfinals match and moving on into the second half of this weekend here.
The Shepherd Staff takes down one of the GOATs for Canada, one of the greatest decorated Canadian players of all time. Been taken down by one of the hugest upcomers, PikaPwn. Been huge in the past 2 years, and now moving on to the semifinals. This is bracket. Absolute wonderful stuff we've been seeing from him, from World Cup, from open rank tournaments, and now to this, taking down one of his fellow Canadians. An absolute wonderful match to watch. Absolute wonderful players to be watching as well.
Yeah, and just to so I believe, was this a loser's bracket or winner's bracket match?
Losers bracket.
This is a loser's bracket, so unfortunately Zylice out of the tournament. PikaPwn, there won't be a second match this week as this is the first round of loser's bracket, but they will be going on to play another week into the semifinals of the tournament. Let's just take a look at the schedule here. This is our last match of the night here, so we're going to be saying farewell for now, but our first match tomorrow, we're going to have a big block of matches starting at 17 UTC with Pez versus Zootinator. That's sure to be an epic match. And then 21 UTC, 22 UTC, 0 UTC, and then we'll be back again for 4:30 UTC final match tomorrow. So stay tuned for lots of matches tomorrow. Check them out, and have a good rest of your night, folks.
Thank you so much, guys.